Rest in peace, Scott Hall. This is a special show. We're going to talk a little bit about Scott Hall, remembering the life of Scott Hall. Before we start, got a little video to share with you guys. Special salute to Scott Hall for the guys join us today. Thank you guys for joining us. Again, if you guys are catching us live on Facebook Live, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up. And share. And I'm going to do this special vignette on showing respect to Scott Hall. All right. Without further ado, let me put it on real quick.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Gonna find you and take it slowly. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Gonna find you and make you want me. Now that I escaped sleep, jail bars ain't gold gates. Those who fake they break. When they meet their 400-pound mate, if I can rule the world, everyone would have a gun and together, of course, we get the up on their horse. Get a bomb, drinking one shot. Let's see what the crime is. But it is seized, but no, don't we? Why Clef's in a state of sleep, thinking about the robbery that I did last week. Money in the bag, a little like a drag. I wanna play with pelicans from here to Baghdad. Gun blast, think fast, I think a bit. My girl pitch my hips to see if I still exist. I ignore it. I'll send a letter to my friends. I born again, a hooligan, only to be king again. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Gonna find you and take it slowly. I play my enemies like a game of chess where I rest. No stress, no smoke sets, less. I must confess, my destiny manifests. This is vortex and sweats. I make tracks like I'm homeless. Rap orgies with more best. Capture your bounty like Elliot Ness. Yes, bless you if you represent the food, but I hex you. It's a witch's rule if you do. I could do what you easy leave me. My instinct is me cheat me. So why you imitating out of home? I be needing some home and defecating on your microphone. Ready or not, here I come. Can't hide. Good night. And make you want me.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream.
And I'm your man, Ant-Man.
You not Big Bad Booty Daddy today? So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks.
Hold on.
You get me? You get me?
I think I might have to come right back, so hold up.
All right. Oh, you couldn't hear me. All right, the Big Bad Booty Daddy has left, but he'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, the Big Bad Booty Daddy will retire. All right, guys, thank you for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream. Ant-Man and Sean Keys will be joining us in a few moments. But guys, if you guys are joining us right now, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're catching us live on Facebook, if you're catching us live on YouTube, drop a comment in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe and drop a comment and talk to us as we talk wrestling before we get into Raw, before we get into NXT, which I didn't catch because I came home a little late. I didn't get to see Dolph's gloating in the. You can hear me? You can hear
Yeah,
me?
I hear you. I hear
So
you.
you're not the big bad booty daddy today? Not today? Oh, you big bad booty. I told you, man. I'm gonna run that line all day. You the big bad booty daddy today. Pause for all you New Yorkers. Pause. But yes, um, yes, I didn't get to hit. I didn't get to see Dolph Ziggler gloat about his championship win. But yes, today we're going to, before we get into the show, we're going to celebrate and remember Scott Hall, a member of the NWO, a founding member of the NWO, who made it possible to, you know, just be monumental in creating such a great group. Also, um, him being legendary in that matter, him being the legendary Razor Ramon, and him actually having a part in Hulk Hogan getting his second win in his career. Man, I mean, if it wasn't for the NWO, Hulk Hogan would have had the idea to turn bad, and he wouldn't have started that group with Nash and Hall, and those guys, created history, man. Kayla, what's up, Kayla? Kayla says, "What's up?" RP Scott Hall. Angela Dukas says, "It's party time." Yes, sir. Kayla says, RP Scott. Angela Dukas says, "The next time I'll be on the podcast will be after WrestleMania on Tuesday, April 5th. Yes, sir. Earl D. O'Brien Jr. from Chanel. Chanel, why you putting that? What are you talking about? Kayla says, "Gone but never be, never be forgotten." Oh, she said she tagging people. Laugh out loud. I caught NXT laugh out. I didn't catch NXT,
It was
Kayla.
good. It was all right. It was good. It was good.
With the Dolph Ziggler. Okay, we'll get into that. We get into that. We'll get into that. But yeah, let's talk about Scott Hall. If it wasn't for NWO, we wouldn't have the bad guys we have today. Absolutely. Yeah, Kayla, that's a great it's a great point. Let's even piggyback off that right there. If it wasn't for the NWO, we would not have the bad guys we have today. The NWO broke what we call the fourth wall, where kayfabe was kayfabe, whatever. Kayfabe, right, was thrown, was thrown out the window. But y'all know what I mean. Was thrown out the window. Um, where they made wrestling feel a lot more real than what we thought it was. Because I know most of us, when we grew up, when we were kids, we thought wrestling was real, and then they started to, Channel 9 News and all the news stations started talking about how fake wrestling was. We were like, "What is fake?" And so, but again, it's and which is going to lead me to one of our other topics today about how real wrestling really is. Because and in no sense is wrestling really fake. It's not fake. Um, as far as the actual struggle and resistance that goes on between the wrestlers, yeah, that's choreographed or that's planned, but the injuries are real. Very,
Yeah.
very, very real and life changing for that matter. And someone's life was changed just of recently, as last Friday, but we'll get into that. Kayla says, "I want to join the talk to talk about NXT a little later." Okay, Kayla. Do I have you on Facebook? Uh, yeah, look for Saheem Ramsey on Facebook. As soon as you find me on Facebook, I'll add you. Jovan Ramsey. I'm sorry, Jovan Ramsey on Facebook, and add me as a friend, and then I'll drop the link in your messenger. Uh, Andrew says, "I'll be ready to hang out with the big bad booty daddy." The big bad booty daddy.
well, let me start showing y'all my math skills, man.
No, but I can add you. Okay, all right. So what, on Facebook? All right, so I guess I'll just find you on Facebook. I'm doing a live, Kayla. I can't, I can't be distracted. Okay, you got to send me your ad. Uh, but We'll add each other. So you can be on the show and talk wrestling with us. It'll be nice to have a female to talk with us. That would be very, 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 very interesting and entertaining at the same time. Because the only other woman I've ever talked wrestling with is my wife, and she's very into it. So,
the best.
and she's the best, of course. I don't know if you heard her, but she said she's the best, and she's the best. Yeah, I just sent a request on Facebook. Laugh out loud. All right. But yeah, so Ant, uh, anything you would like to mention about Scott Hall?
Um, First off, I would like to say, hey yo, you don't know who I am, but you know why I'm here. But Scott was a major part in my wrestling, liking wrestling. Like he made wrestling cool, bro. Like him and Diesel, but more Scott. He just had, like how he said, he just oozing with machismo, man. He was just swagged out. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. He had 15 gold chains in Oopa Loompa, Louisiana, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like Scott was just a major deal. Like I said, he was a big deal in my wrestling life. You know, I grew up watching him since he was
Mhm.
raising Ramon, but I started liking him more when he became the Outsiders, when he became Scott Hall. Because, like everybody, like you said, when he broke down that fall, we didn't know what was going on when we was watching Nitro back then. We saw him coming through the crowd. Nobody knew
Word.
what was going on. The school the next day was like, I gotta go to school the next day. It was just like, yo, I gotta be the first one in the lunchroom the next day. Like it was crazy. Like Scott, if it wasn't, he was the first cool. Like I said on Twitter, he was the first cool bad guy. He made it cool to be a heel. Like it was cool. And you couldn't boo him. You just loved him so much. You just had to cheer him. He's gonna be truly missed. He's a major influence in NXT Black and Gold. Major influence that a lot of people don't really know about. But
Oh,
he
really?
doesn't get, yeah, he doesn't get a lot of mentions for the stuff he did for the young guys in NXT. He was always in their ear, always telling them what the do's and the don'ts. You know, he was a major part in that, and as you can see, he's truly loved by the wrestling world. As you can see, he's gonna really be missed, and he's gonna live on forever, man. Like what is it, like 27 years later, we're still talking about the NWO. You know, so like, rest in peace, Scott Hall. Long live Scott Hall. You know what I'm saying? Scott Hall for life, man.
Yeah, word. He definitely was. The dude's an icon, man. You know, it's crazy because we talked about like performers who never won world titles, and
Yeah, we just talking about.
he was like number one, yo. Like he was like he was like, I mean, not number one, but he was like at the top of the list. We had like number ones. It was him. It was Rude. It was Perfect. You know, it was what's the other guy named shoot, Rowdy Piper. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like he was one of those guys who uh he was one of those guys who um definitely deserved the world title run, because it would have been interesting to see um how he would have held the title and to just see him in that light as a world title holder. But he didn't want to hold it. He
nope,
didn't want the responsibility. He said, nah.
nope.
He said, I'd rather take this middleweight title and hold it like a heavyweight champ.
Yeah,
Kayla says she's free now. She says, I heard her. Andrew says he was the best. Kayla says, speak on it. And facts. Is this Sean or is this Trav? Facebook user. Scott Hall and Mr. Perfect, my number one and two, who never won the world titles, but also didn't need them.
that might be Ethan.
That might be it. Yeah, that might be it. I mean, they do though. I mean, I think, you know, at some point in your career, you will want to have that world title. Kayla is joining us.
Kayla,
Kayla,
Hi guys.
what's
So
up,
I
Kayla?
kind of what's up? Thank y'all for letting me come. I do want to talk about Scott Hall for a bit because I remember the match that I spoke of, and Ant knows this because I told him about it yesterday. Was the oh gosh, what was it? It was back in like '98.
Mm-hmm.
It was, gosh, I can't remember who it was, but I remember that match. I remember WrestleMania 10, that ladder
Mm-hmm.
match there. Like, there was just a lot of good Scott Hall matches, and it sucks that we lost a legend. Like I told Ant, I was like, I feel like this one hurts about the same as losing Eddie when we lost Eddie. This one is like it
Yeah.
hits right in the gut.
Yeah.
Like
No, it
that's
is.
how bad
Yeah.
this one hurts. It's
Yeah.
like at first I didn't want to believe it. And it's kind of like I said, when I made that comment, if it wasn't for Scott Hall, we wouldn't have some of the bad guys that we have now.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have the Dolph Zigglers. We wouldn't have the Miz's. The edge that we have now.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Angela Dugas says, what happened to Seth Rollins?
We'll
Andrew
get to
loves
that.
Seth.
We'll get to that.
He loves Seth. So you're right, Kayla. Andrew will get into Seth Rollins a little later.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right about that. The way they broke that fourth wall, the way they introduced themselves as bad guys in the whole entire wrestling world was like, completely like just changing. It changed the whole industry completely,
It did.
hands down. And yeah, it did hit because I'm surprised. I know he had some health issues. I didn't know they were that bad.
Yeah.
I know Kevin Nash mentioned it every now and then. But yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we like when I saw that post from Kevin, I was like, I think it was more so Kevin was trying to get us all prepared. Like Kevin
Right.
Kevin knew he was going to lose a fan. And I mean, I know Ant had posted a tweet on Twitter because I follow him, and he kind of like then later on I saw he was like, I kind of feel bad that I said something and jumped the gun, but it was like in a way Kevin Nash was kind of preparing us
Right.
for it,
Right. Right.
because what a lot of people don't know is once you get taken off of life support, you can live for a few hours to a few days, if not a whole year
Wow.
and a
Okay.
half. That there is, because I actually researched it, and that depending on the severity of it, you can, when you get pulled off of life support, you can live for a few days to
Right.
you can live a few hours to a few days to, I think it's like 500 and some odd days.
Hmm.
And so, and the thing is that a lot of people don't know is that depending with like when you're on life support, you're already practically in that state of crossing over.
Yeah.
Like you're at that state of crossing over. And so I think his family figured that, it would be best, because either way, he was going to end up, I hate to say it, but end up being a vegetable. Even if he would have survived it.
So
Even
what was it?
even
Was it he had he had 2 heart attacks?
No. So what caused
3
it
heart
was
attacks.
is that, yeah, so he had a hip replacement done, and
Okay.
there ended up being a blood clot that ended up causing him to have 3 heart attacks.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's what when he went into the hospital before being put on life support,
Yeah.
the blood clot that he had gotten from his hip surgery had caused the heart attacks. And so
Wow.
he had 3 heart attacks that night, and that's what put him on the life support. And so
I think he had the
go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. I think he had the same hip surgery Drake the Snake had.
Yeah,
Wow.
something like that. But yeah, so that's kind of like, and the only reason I'm speaking on this a lot is because I'm studying not really medicine, but hospital stuff. And so this is kind of stuff that I need to know for it when I go into the healthcare administration field to, give to patients, is like,
Yeah.
hey, this is kind of what's happening. Like if I have to be the one to call the parents and be like, hey, you might need to get to the hospital. This is what's going on.
Okay. All right, guys. So one moment, I have to reload the broadcast because they pulled it because of the video. I think it was because of the lyric.
Oh,
Yeah, because of the Lauren Hill song. So all right.
Oh, my
So
fault.
I'm going to inbox you guys again. No, that's all
okay.
good. I'm gonna inbox you guys again. We're gonna go live
Okay.
again. We'll set the video back up again.
All right.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. My wife, she gave it. She was like, "Oh, they pulled it." Yeah, that's one thing I was hoping they didn't do. All right.
Yeah. YouTube's weird like that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. All right. So
While
I'm
you do
gonna
that, while you do that, I'm gonna tweet out. I'm gonna tweet out while you do that for people to
All right.
join it.
All right. So I'm gonna end it and I'm gonna send you guys an invite again.
All right, bet.
All right.
All right.